Hey there everyone, Juan Romero here from SwitchWatch. I've got a review of Cyberhook on the Nintendo Switch. Sorry I haven't been around too much lately. Jordan, though, and James have been taking care of you, I know very well. But I've been organising a very special event. James, my cousin, is getting married, so that stag do, of course, is super important. But we'll be back in the groove soon enough. Congratulations to James, really happy for him. Can't wait to go and get plastered, to be quite frank, at the pub with him. Anyway, let's get into this and find out if it's worth your hard-earned cash. I often enjoy a very simple game with a simple premise. These are the sort of games, if designed well, I can often lose hours and hours to because of that one more go feeling, where we have a game that initially feels like it's going to grab your attention and keep it. Unfortunately, with Cyberhook, things do go downhill, unfortunately. There is a little bit of a story here where you're stuck and you've got to get out, but it's not the story that's going to hook you here. The gameplay is, or it should do. Now, first things first, this is a first-person parkour game with a style you'll either love or hate. The premise, as I said, is very simple. You go from point A to point B as quickly as possible. Quicker the time, the more points you will unlock, from 1 to 3 points maximum. The more points you gain, the more levels and worlds you will unlock, of which there are around 70 levels. And after the introduction and very brief story, you're introduced to the mechanics and you're given a little bit of a tutorial. In truth, it's all very simple, not much to learn, and most of the time it's the trigger buttons on the Nintendo Switch where you're going to be releasing your hook, using your gun, and using that double jump. Well, the gun's used primarily really to clear obstacles. The thing that got me first of all was really when you release that hook into a platform, you have to then press L or B to release the hook, which is rather fiddly with a game this fast paced. Platforms are placed in such a way that you have to be very accurate, and I mean super accurate, otherwise you're going to fall to your death and you start the level again. The way that hook mechanism works for me is just too fiddly on the Nintendo Switch. Anyway, maybe on PC it works better. I haven't played the game there, but the game had pretty decent reviews from the community over there. The frustration comes, for me anyway, with the level of accuracy you require on each level at the pace that you're going. Now sure, you can use your power to slow down time for a limited period, but you end up dying more often than not, and you have to replay these levels over and over again until you can get perfection. The placement of those platforms and ledges on some of the levels is so ridiculous that it takes away, for me anyway, of making it a fun experience. I was more often than not in a state of frustration, giving me many of those TalkSport heads gone moments with the accompanying theme tune. Rather than actually enjoying having that other go. This is where, for me, there's a fine balance between difficulty, frustration, and enjoyment. It's a very thin line. The moment a game is more frustrating than enjoyable, you have a problem. And I'm all about difficult games. I do not mind overcoming a challenge. Here though, you get a sense of dread as to what random platforms I'm going to have to hit next to make it out of the level. There are a few different things you'll learn as you progress. You'll get the gun to shoot obstacles or running along walls, and you'll have to use a combination of swinging, running, jumping, double jumping, and shooting. And when it's all done at this pace, it's often difficult to put together. Either that or I'm just getting too old, don't have that level of dexterity that you need for a game like this anymore. The style of the visuals, you'll either love or hate. They're minimalistic. I quite like them, to be honest, and the sound design is decent enough with a very nice soundtrack accompanying you. The price point though is £13.49 or $15. I think that's too expensive, quite frankly, because most of you will probably not play this for very long. Those that stick with it will complete this in around 5 hours, and for those that are very competitive, then you can leave those times on the leaderboards. Now, I'm a competitive beast, but I'll tell you now, I'm just not very good at it. And that's not to say that, not being very good at something, you can try and try again to get better. And of course, you can do this here. I just think that the design of the levels at times is just overly difficult for no real good reason. Now, what makes similar games to this enjoyable is the very fact that you can get to the end of the level, leave a time, go back and improve on that time. The problem here is that you'll spend so long trying to complete certain levels because they're so difficult that you just won't want to return to leave a better time again. That's how I felt anyway. I'm not saying that all of you will feel that way. Some of you may enjoy that, but be prepared that if you're going to pay for this game, you're going to have a very, very tough time of it, and that's the issue. The balance is just not right. My verdict on Cyberhook then is a very simple premise. There's not much meat here. It's fast paced. Many of you will be interested in the parkour and hook swing mechanics. Unfortunately though, the design of the levels is such that it makes the game ridiculously difficult and frustrating with the controls. Some of you may enjoy the fast paced first person perspective, but for many of you, frustration is just gonna overcome you. For me, a 6 out of 10. Solid enough, but could have been a lot better. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. If you're still watching, you're an absolute legend. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this one. Is this one that you're going to pick up? I would say probably wait for a sale if you want to give this one a try. Subscribe, hit that bell notification if you want to be alerted of all of our videos that go live every single Sunday and Monday, where James and Jordan deliver bargains of the week and all the physicals that are out on the Nintendo Switch, and a splattering of reviews and lists that we know you love. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.